Campaign to retake Burma in early 1945, the British decided to recapture Ramree Island, 70 miles or 110 kilometers south of the city of Akyab, now Sideway. The Japanese had taken the island off the British in early 1942 during the conquest of Burma, and Britain needed the flat, 50-mile or 80-kilometer-long island for air bases to support the mainland campaign. An amphibious invasion was ordered, and on the 21st of January 1945, elements of the 71st Indian Infantry Brigade, containing both Indian and British infantry battalions, went ashore under massive naval gunfire support from Royal Navy warships, led by the battleship HMS Queen Elizabeth and aircraft from HMS Emir, as well as RAF bombers and fighters. The following day, the 4th Indian Infantry Brigade landed, with the 71st Brigade advancing southwards down the island's west coast. The Japanese garrison, the 121st Infantry Regiment, resisted fiercely, but were eventually outflanked. About 900 Japanese troops of the 2nd Battalion 121st Regiment abandoned their base, refused to surrender to the British, and decided to try and join up with a large battalion of Japanese troops 10 miles or 16 kilometers away. The problem for the Japanese was their line of retreat took them through 10 miles of coastal mangrove swamp. The land was jungle, with wet mud and watercourses filled with snakes, scorpions, poisonous spiders and clouds of mosquitoes loaded with diseases. The 900 Japanese troops struggled into the swamp, but only around half would emerge at the other end. British troops, many on boats, surrounded the mangrove swamp, and for several days and nights could hear what was happening. For the swamps were not only home to snakes and creepy crawlies, but hundreds of massive saltwater crocodiles. These monstrous reptiles, the largest of the crocodilian family, routinely reach 17 to 20 feet in length and over 1 to 2,000 pounds in weight. Aggressive and expert ambush hunters, the Japanese soldiers stood little chance in confrontations with them. Some of the Japanese troops had been wounded or were already ill from diseases or hunger when they entered the swamp. Their blood and their dead bodies was the equivalent of ringing the dinner bell as far as the crocodiles were concerned. Diseased, dehydrated and stumbling through thick mud and water, the Japanese soldiers were easy prey, and many were killed over several days. British troops in boats could hear scattered rifle shots at night time, punctuated by the screaming of victims as the crocodiles stalked and attacked the Japanese troops, the crocodiles being expert night hunters. When the dawn came up, vultures arrived in great flocks to clean up what was left behind. Because crocodiles only kill prey occasionally and don't need to eat very often, it is more than likely that most of the Japanese victims were men too sick or wounded to continue, or those stuck in the mud. Many of the Japanese soldiers died of other causes, like disease and starvation. But from the eyewitness testimonies of Japanese and British soldiers, many must have been taken by the saltwater crocodiles of Ramree Island. Around 500 are known to have made it to Japanese lines alive, while the British captured 20 Japanese soldiers who'd been through the swamp and lived to tell the tale. All the rest died in the 10 miles of swamp, making what happened at Ramree Island the worst recorded instance of crocodiles preying on humans. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and also support my channel on PayPal and Patreon. Details in the description box below.